so excited. We're so excited that 𝗀𝗙𝗧𝗏 joined, and we had that beautiful musician, and I cannot recall his name right now. If anybody can recall his name, I would appreciate that. But thank you. If you have not watched the Facebook Live, it was around 2 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time. I wasn't on live, but I watched it later, and it was amazing. So we're so excited this has gone to Japan, and we are here to talk about the principles of that book. Today we have, we're going to be talking about miracles. We are engaged fully in the miracle experiment game, and I hope that those who are participating are really engaging in the connection. I'm connecting with it differently this time than I have the other times, and it's just been really fun. I've been in that midst of miracle experience, and I am so excited to hear from you guys, to be able to hear how your miracles are showing up in your life. For those who are not participating in the game, I also want to hear about your miracles, because if you are aware of the principles of this book, miracles are all around us. In the book, Dr. Clint quotes Albert Einstein saying, you can live your life two ways. One is if nothing is a miracle, or two, as if everything is a miracle, and everything is definitely a miracle. So I want to do a couple of announcements before we go drop from our head to our heart. I just want to say a couple of welcomes. Hello, Randy. It's so good to see you. Hello, Susan and Joseph. Hello, Raven. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful to see you. Hello, Mary. Hello, Stan. Ron, it's always so good to see you. Hello, Esther and Jimbo. Tara, oh my gosh, it's so great to see all of you. We have coming up in January, the 101, Ancient Secrets 101. So just kind of put that on the calendar. It hasn't been posted for you to purchase it, but just put on your calendar in January. The Ancient Secrets 101 will start again. And then also in February, the 100-day program will also begin. So Cornelia, I would really like to have us drop from our heads to our hearts. And while you're getting everything ready, we're going to do the Unstoppable meditation this morning. I want all of you guys to be thinking about the miracles that have been showing up in your life. All of the experiences, you know, the what do you want, the 𝗷𝗙𝗙𝗘𝗧𝗏, the unexpected guests, and also your gratitudes. Would love to hear all of those from you today. While Cornelia is getting that set up. Is there anybody that has had, oh, we're ready? Okay, great. We're ready to go. So I want you to put your feet on the floor. Just take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Out. One more. And we can go ahead and play, Cornelia. I want you to focus on what do you want? Cornelia, we cannot hear it.
No sound, Cornelia.
Can you not hear me?
Now we can hear it, and it's a little loud. If you can turn it down a little bit.
Who lived up to 125 said, you have all the right to become successful. You have a right to become a winner. You have a right to face your fear and also your ego. And that can only happen when you are coming from your own authenticity and your own. And my master said that every day morning, if you speak these words in this way, the way I am sharing with you, you become unstoppable. Everything becomes a new dimension. You become a magnetic personality. Success, happiness, joy, relationship, everything will come to you as if you are a magnet. Allow yourself to become that magnet. My wonderful child, you are having powerful, magnetic, dynamic, loving, healing, and happy personality. Your memory is improving. Your energy is improving. Your relationship with your body, mind, and emotions are improving dramatically. You are loving yourself because you are wonderful. You are loving yourself. You are liking yourself. Your self-esteem is becoming better. Your self-image is transforming into a magnetic personality. You are becoming unstoppable. You are able to achieve whatever you want in your life. The power is within you. You are able to touch, move, and inspire. Your power is touching hundreds of people, thousands of people, millions of people. You are able to achieve whatever you want from now because you have got powerful, positive, magnetic, dynamic, loving, healing, and happy personality. Your relationship with your family is improving. Your relationship in your work is improving. Your relationship with your customer, relationship with the people around you is dramatically improving. Your mind is powerful. Your brain is working in a creative way. And from today, any problems are turning into special opportunities. There are no problems. There are only challenges. have a power to face them. You have a power to solve them. And then they are turning into opportunities. Buses of opportunities are now coming in your life. The only which opportunity to take? There are three things: conscious mind, subconscious mind, and superconscious. Superconscious, you may call it Allah, Khuda, you may call it 𝗏𝗏𝗏, Buddha, Christ, Krishna, you may call it Shiva. Whatever name you want to give. That superconscious mind is with you. And that superconscious mind is going to guide you how to become a winner in every situation. Things are improving. Your energy is coming from within. The power is coming from within, which in ancient secrets is known as Shakti. Now you are becoming a powerful Shakti. Shakti which has no problems, only solutions. Shakti which is only feedback, there is no failure. Shakti which can turn any challenge into possibility. You are a person of possibility. Everything is possible in your life. From today, you are becoming unstoppable, very creative, a person of possibility. Now start your day with new ideas and everything will be possible. Totally relax. Totally relax. All the wonderful ideas are sinking into your subconscious mind. And then from there, whatever you are touching is transforming into opportunity. I love you. You are powerful. I know you are powerful. Totally relax. At the count of 6 to 1, you will open your eyes, feeling fresh, healthy, energetic, and unstoppable. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly open your eyes. Now you are ready to face the world, face any situation, and you are becoming unstoppable. I love you. Congratulations. Namaskar.
It's so beautiful. I would like to hear from you while you've been doing this meditation this week or whenever. What is it that has been coming to you? What are some of the miracles that you've experienced with this? I would love to hear from you. Susie.
Good morning, everyone. I love you and I'm with you. I have been in overwhelm mode since I first started my new job. And I'm just going to say what my miracle is at the end, but I'm going to share what's been overwhelming to me. How desperate the children are in need of attention on so many different levels, because I work with kids, and how behind they are with learning. Doesn't matter what age they are, they're hardly any of them are at the grade level that they should be. And how, as adults, our politics, our religion views, whatever it is really hurting the kids. And it's from all sides. It's not one-sided. It's everybody across the board. Whether they're not doing anything or they're trying, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And my overwhelm has to do with how much pain and suffering these kids are inheriting from all of us. So my miracle while doing the unstoppable is the creation within myself, that we can really step up. I can really step up in a very different way. And I've seen that happen this week with being able to be present and seeing kids when they do something amazing, that's kind and compassionate, that hasn't been their MO since the first day I started working there. I was present for that and I could see it instead of focusing on the negative. So my miracle is connecting with these kids sharing it with their moms, the positive that they have done in their life. A real act of kindness. And Dr. Naram, and doing the unstoppable, is connecting and weaving that love that I have inside me, and it's reaching out and enveloping the other kids.
Beautiful, Susie. Thank you so much. You know, it really is a big deal. I'm so grateful for the people who do spend time with their children, that do acknowledge their children, because children are the future. They truly are. So Susie, thank you for all that you're doing and being able to see the goodness and greatness in these children. You know, I remember when I was life coaching for years, for over 15 years. And, you know, when I first started to life coach, I did it the way that I was raised. And it was easy to pick out the negative. And when I finally recognized that it was so beneficial to connect with people in a way where you see their greatness, where you see everything that they do is that they are doing the very best they can with where they are. And if they're not doing something, it's because they haven't had that experience to learn differently. You know, I think Oprah Winfrey always says, when you know better, you do better. I think that was a Maya Angelou quote. When you know better, you do better. And so it's important that we bring that awareness to the world. And when you see somebody, to love them. Even the parents who are stuck in the politics and in the, ignoring their children, it's important to love them as well, because they need love. It was interesting, before I get to Shifra and Linda, I was watching Gaia TV and they were showing Dr. Amodio's work. And, you know, he was the one that did the experiments with water and with words and with vibration. And he took 3 containers of rice and he poured water in the rice. And 1 container of rice, he spoke very kind words to. And the other container, he spoke negative words to. And the 3rd container, he left it and ignored it. Well, after a few weeks, he went back to the container that was full of rice that he spoke positive words for or towards. And the rice was clear, the water was clear. There was, it almost looked like it had just been soaking, nothing had happened to it. When he went to the one that negative words were spoken to, there was kind of a black goo on it. It wasn't all the way gooey, but it was still a blackness to it. Well, when he went to the one that was being ignored, and I want you to hear this, when he went to the one that was being ignored, there was a deep black, you could almost not see the rice. And what he realized was being ignored is worse than the negative comments that are coming to you. Ignoring somebody is hugely damaging. Please reach out to those people that you love and connect with them and love them. And Susie, thank you for the work that you're doing. What a miracle. Linda, you had your hand up first. Linda, would you like to share with us what your experience has been?
Yes. Regarding the 30-day make experience, the biggest miracle when we're on the subject of miracles is that I am still alive. My life urge is stronger than my death urge. And part of me wants to die as soon as possible because I'm still not a perfect being, and I am being a maximum service I possibly can to the entire planet. And I want to apologize to Susan for the mess up in our society. I am being a maximum service, wonderful, imperfect, AFU me. I have no personal reason to still be alive other than the fact I have my 2 cats who are the light of my life, and I volunteer feeding and nurturing other community animals, and I promise each and every one of you, if you just forgive me for the state of this world, I promise each and every one of you are going to experience an elevation, an upliftment. And that is my promise to all of humanity. And that is the absolute truth.
Absolutely. You know what? This is a really great segue, Linda. Thank you so much for sharing. You are very valuable in this world, and I'm so grateful that you are seeing your value for your life, because you are very powerful being, and you are so worth being here. We're so grateful that you are here. So let's do the forgive and forget marma really quickly. Let's just support our finger. Let's press that point in our finger that's a little tender and just press it 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that was just a really short little thing. But while we're on the call today, if you'll just continue to press that marma point 6 times 6, and not only forgive others and the world, but to forgive yourself.
That is the hardest person for me to forgive. Anyways, you receive my blessing. I turn on my camera now because I view myself as camera shy. Thank you.
You're beautiful,
Well,
Linda.
I'm not that beautiful. Come on.
I think you are.
Okay, I am that beautiful. I just don't believe in myself very much. I still am imperfect. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? I am imperfect too. And I don't know one person on this call that is perfect. And when we embrace our imperfectness, we can start to really embrace that life. As Mindy, who's on the phone right now, says, be kind to your human. Be kind to your human. So, Mindy, I thank you so much for being on the call. We know that it's like 12:30, almost 1 o'clock in the morning in Okinawa, where I'm so excited to hear from you. But before we do, let's go ahead to Shifra really quickly, and then Nehemiah.
Hi. Yeah, I think I think my vulnerability that I wanted to share is just, getting this thing that they don't want to continue my lease. It's scary, and I sometimes feel like it's just too much, like the stress level, etc. Like there's a frustration that that is hard for me to pull through, and that I'm tired of sort of always living on the edge like I do like this, that is very challenging. And I have several relationships where, people that I was close to are not close to me anymore, and it's hard. And my intention, it's Yom Kippur is coming. You could call it Day of At-One-ment, and it's I'm wanting to move through this, and I'm scared, and I don't have like a lot of clear options. But what I wanted to say is that for my miracles is that, my place is clean. That's one miracle, which it usually is not. And the other miracle is that I'm taking good steps, like I'm not throwing things at the walls. I'm calling people who can help me, putting out the word to everybody that I know, trying to see it as an Atiti or a Tithi Devabhawa, that I'm acting in ways that make a lot of sense rather than don't make sense. There is one option, not the greatest option, but I have an option. So that I don't want to denigrate that. And the other thing is that many of you know that I had a breakup of a friendship of someone that I realized I was in love with. And it's just brutal. I felt like we were not married, we were not romantically involved, but it just felt like a brutal divorce. And I finally have come to the point where either today or tomorrow, if it seems right, I'm just going to send them a letter and say, I don't really understand what happened. I'm letting this go. I forgive you. I hope you forgive me. Maybe you will, or maybe you won't, but I leave it in the hands of spirit. And that's huge. I mean, I can see I'm moving on from this. And that I think is a big deal.
That is a big deal.
Like, phew,
It's a very big deal. So 𝗭𝗲, I really hope that you can take your right hand.
I want to honor Susie for what she shared about caring about the children. I think they're so important. And I agree that so much has been put on them that's not right. And also Linda, like, I love you. And I'm so glad you're on this planet, and we're all responsible, but you alone are not. Take responsibility, but it's not all on you. It's on, we've got a whole bunch of other people who can share it with you. And we love you, and I love you, and I'm with you. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you. 𝗭𝗲, I really hope that you can do the marma where you pat your shoulder 6 times and say, very good.
Very good, 𝗭𝗲, 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 very good.
And I hope that you mean that, because, cleaning your apartment is a big deal. And being able to acknowledge where you are is a big deal. And one of the things that I really love about Dr. Naram's meditation is that you envision what you want,
right,
what is possible.
right.
And if you can, if we can all just continue to do the what do you want.
Yes.
And I'll share some miracles that I saw this week later, but Nehemiah, let's go ahead. Thank you, 𝗭𝗲. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Nehemiah, quickly, let's go ahead and have you speak. Oh, can't hear you.
I agree with one side of Einstein. It's all miracle. So I don't know where to stop. And I'm actually going through transition. I'm challenged now, but it's still a miracle. And it's happened in my life so many times that I don't see some challenge come, which is crucial about making money and all this. And I don't know, and I know the answer is there, waiting for me. So I think that I want to say 2 things. One is that I agree totally with Susie because it's not new. What parents receive and pass on, according to the statistic, is 95% negative reinforcement to the child. It's like going through generation every time, and it becoming more extreme, both the positive and the negative. We are part of a group, which is not the only one, but relatively rare, that meet to focus on the positive every week and then spread it through the week. So we are very fortunate. And then I want to share about the forgive and forget, something that I learned and I kind of synthesized with the Kabbalah. Kabbalah means to accept, to receive. Everything is perfect underneath the imperfection. So it's a little bit different than nobody is perfect. Underneath there is perfection because we are all going through where our soul should go at this time, including even wanting to commit suicide and overcoming it, or committing suicide and coming back to walk it out. So I believe that the soul is going through a perfect process to go towards back to its perfection. That's my belief. And Kabbalah says the same. So when you fully accept, it's so beautiful. So I want to say I'll do the forgive and forget. Forgive and let go to myself 6 times, and then 6 times to whoever I want to do it. But then when I finish, I say, and fully accept, love, and embrace. So I take anybody wherever they are, including criminals, because I know there's divine in them, and I hug them and accept them. That doesn't mean that I would have support their actions, but I know that inside they are divine and they are not aware of it now. But it's okay. I can love them, and sometimes watch out if they come for me, whatever, or if my negative inclination come for me. So for me, it's forgive, forget, and let go, even better, let go, and embrace if you can. And if not, immerse, but if you can immerse and accept fully the person and the part of yourself that you still, but I'm not making money. And the last thing, the miracle that 𝗁𝗲𝗡 shared, and other people in the group that I had with 𝗁𝗲𝗡, the beautiful group. I give her a plug. She ran a beautiful group. Anybody want to hear about it can find from her. Is that some people clean their apartment, which is so challenging. And for me, since my childhood, since my resistance to my mother and my adopted mother, I got an habit of moving forward with business. Everything in the apartment is not clean, and that stopped the money. So now I'm in a miracle of gradually clean my apartment. One room at a time, one piece at a time, and all the papers for in soon you will not see me because I'll be busy with income tax, but everything is ready, and then you'll see me again. So that's about it. It's all miracle.
It is all miracles. Thank you, Nehemiah. Thank you so much for your wisdom. So appreciate that. Mindy, are you in a place where you can share with us? We were so excited. Mindy.
Hi. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
great.
just in my robe and I'm just like, I wasn't on camera. I just woke up, but yes. Hi.
Hi. So have you seen any miracles today or this week?
I don't know. I've had a kind of emotional kind of time. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I see 𝗷𝗙𝗘𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏𝗏s where I'm like so upset, and I guess it's a miracle to know that you have that kind of frame of mind, that even when something's like really a struggle, that it's not working for you.
It is so true.
God showing up. That is a miracle of just having that perspective of knowing.
I just have to say that Mindy is a miracle. Mindy always has this creative viewpoint of the world and how she wants to show up in the world, and she embraces it and she acts upon it, and things happen. She's a miracle in itself. So glad that you're a part of this community, Mindy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
So great.
He's gonna help me.
All right, we'll see you. So today, and if you didn't hear it from the very beginning, we had the book launch of the Japanese version of the book, and Mindy Barrett was there with Dr. Clint and Ken Honda. Mindy Barrett, would you mind sharing some of that happened?
We had such a beautiful day. We got to meet all the translators who are such amazing souls. Ken Honda was there, had a great time with him. What a beautiful, kind, gentle. We all went and had dinner after. It was just like sitting down with one of your best friends that you just haven't seen in a long time, and you're just catching up. It was just a beautiful, beautiful day. Clint did a great job. We probably had 50 people there. It was my daughter's first time hearing his story. She was in tears. So sweet. Listening to the story of, how he was trying to save his dad really spoke to her. We just had such a beautiful group. Oh my gosh, 2 people from the Italian embassy came to support Dr. Giovanni. What? I'm gonna butcher her name, but the amazing woman, Dr. Giovanni's girlfriend, Dr.
Sanjia.
That's it. Thank you, Sanjia. First time meeting her. So sweet. Like, it was like just a room full of sweet souls. We had these musicians that were there that did tachyon, which is it sounds almost multi-dimensional, like you hear the sound and then you hear the sound again in a little bit different way. and they all just sort of built on each other. It was, yeah, fantastic experience. So
good.
grateful to be there. We've just had the best time here, and it's just built and built and built and expanded and expanded and expanded. And just about the time you didn't think it could get better, boom, it does. So
That's really true. That's awesome.
It's a very nice change of scenery and pace from what we've been experiencing over the past few weeks. Loved lots of those experiences as well. But
is that Maddie in the background?
You know it.
Maddie, it. We hear you. We hear you. I love it.
Mad. Jayna's waving at you, says, "We hear you." Hello. Yes.
So for those of you who do not know, Mindy was one of the her home was one of the 2,000 structures in Maui that the Lahaina fire engulfed, and she lost everything. And except for her daughter, her pets, all the things that were precious to her, she was able to recover a lot of those things, which we're so grateful for. And this community is amazing. You know, immediately we put out the call for donations and people showed up. And immediately people had ideas of how they could support Mindy. They were sending gifts, and they were sending giving ideas of herbs. Carol got in touch with an herbal company to be able to send out herbs to be able to support the Lahaina people. When I asked Mindy what she wanted, she has such a big heart, and she said, "I want the people of Lahaina to be able to release trauma." And so I contacted Pamela Curley, who is in our community, and she has this incredible method. It's called the 𝗫𝗃𝗧𝗦 method. And it's like a touch point massage that works with the nervous system and the brain to be able to release trauma. And immediately I contacted her and I said, "Do you know of any people in this industry that can help release trauma?" She says, "We're on it. We've got a team. We're going. We'll be there." And within 4 weeks, we were there. I wasn't sure I was able to go. I wanted to go. And Mindy and Pamela and miracles happened, and I was able to go. And so Mindy picked us up at the airport, and we immediately went to the Temple of Peace. And in the Temple of Peace, 𝗀𝗙𝗑, who was on one of the calls recently, and his beautiful wife, 𝗁𝗍𝗠, he had put out the call to the island to be able to, we didn't know how we were going to show up or what we were going to do, and things fell into place. There was a higher power that was existing inside of this visit. And we were able to connect with people that we needed to connect with. We were able to, just be directed to the people that we needed to see, the places that we needed to go, the tools that we needed to have. They were just there. So we got Mindy. Go ahead.
It was stunning. It was just a perfect example of God's hand in motion. You know, the universe just put us all in exactly the place we needed to be. I just knew all the right people to talk to, and in the moments that we needed something, the right person stepped in, and it's just been absolutely beautiful. And that reminded me that Carol, sweet, amazing Carol, got to present her book to Ken Honda today, and he asked her to sign it for him. So sweet. And she was handing out emergency kits to different people as well. And Jayna and Pamela and her whole team came to Maui 2 weeks ago. It's crazy how time goes. And we spent 4 or 5 days just putting hands on people and helping their bodies move through the things that their hearts were holding.
Yeah.
And
so it
so
was
grateful
incredible
for all of you.
So there were 3 camps set up for the Lahaina people who had been affected, the victims. So they didn't have cars. A lot of them, have lost their jobs, and they didn't have housing. So there were 3 different camps that the people of Hawaii have created. It's not government based. So they have water, they have food, they have hot food, they have toys, they have clothing that have all been donated by people. I think they call it the coconut team or the coconut tribe or something like that. It's just the locals who are supporting locals. And there are 3 different camps. And Pamela's team, there were 2 practitioners that stayed at one camp, 2 that went to another camp, and I went with Pamela to the hotel. They call it a camp, but it was a hotel. And in this hotel, there were no visitors. They were only people who had been affected by the fire, and every person there had just received the news that they were able to stay 3 to 6 months. But before that, they were nervous that they didn't have a place to stay. They were only there week by week, and the anxiety level was extremely high. So in the place, I have taken a course from Pamela, and I was very honored and grateful to be able to do some of the practices that she had trained me to do. But even more so, before because there was a wait for people to get on the table. And in that time of waiting, I was able to listen to them and to understand them, to hear them. And before I knew that they were going to be on the table, I was able to take them through the process of the what do you want? So I pressed their finger and asked them, what do you want? If they closed their eyes and took some deep breaths and got really centered. And then I took them through the next step. What does that look like? Or what will you do when you have what you want? And then through the third step, what does it look like when you have what you want? And they would verbalize it. Some of them wouldn't, because it was very difficult for them to speak. They were so overwhelmed with grief, but some of them weren't. And then I would do the marma point with them. I would do the focus marma, and I would do the confidence marma, the 7 fingers down on the right arm. And I would do the releasing of negative thoughts marma. And then we would do the ear marma. And the shift that happened in these people were so incredible. I sometimes tend to be a little bit skeptical. Sometimes I still am. And I was shocked at the transformation that I saw that these beautiful tools did for these people. And it prepared them in a way that when they got onto Pamela's table, Pamela and Diane, who I was working with, said that they were immediately to go right into their work and be able to quickly move through some of the processes. Pamela has had a lifetime of Ayurveda. She used to follow Maharishi around when she was newly married and had young children. And she's done transcendental meditation for years and years. So she's had Ayurveda in her life forever. And her husband, who was a medical doctor, even though he was a medical doctor, he gave home remedies and practiced Ayurveda. And so this is something that's very dear to her heart. And I see the two of her work and Ayurveda very closely related. It's beautiful. As you know, in this book, Dr. Naram says 90% of disease is caused by unresolved emotion and childhood trauma. And those practitioners that day, they were able to stop that trauma. Now, with the vision of Pamela, she knew that she was a team of 6, and we were able to touch probably 200 people that week. And 200 people is wonderful, but it's not the thousands that were affected. And so she had this vision of being able to connect with people who were the healers of the world, or healers of the island. And so we had a seminar and of being able to teach some of these methods. And I had the honor and the opportunity to be able to open up and to be able to share. I said, why are we here? We are here because of this book. Literally, we are here because of this book. And I told them the story about how I was so compelled to be able to help with the launching of this book, and how I told them the story about Dr. Naram being an Ayurvedic practitioner and was just kind of guessing at what he was doing until one of his patients who didn't come to him anymore was cured and was able to see 𝗵𝗲𝗡𝗀𝗡𝗧, and Dr. Naram went to 𝗵𝗲𝗡𝗧 and waited for 100 days before his training would begin. And little did he know that his training was going on the whole 100 days. But we have to get through the fear and the ego. And you guys all know that story, and I'm happy to share it with you if you don't, but it's in the book. And then I was so delighted to be able to share with these healers of the island, the marmas that I shared with the people that were on the table, and the transformation that I saw in front of my eyes because of the marmas. And it's a beautiful experience. And then Pamela was able to share with them several techniques that they could do with the people that their family members, their clients, their neighbors, to be able to help release the trauma, at least give them a feeling of safety. And as you know, in Ayurveda, one of the first things, the very first thing that we want is to feel safety. When you can feel safety, things can start to shift, things can start to heal. But also, along with the safety, she gives possibility. So, and in Ayurveda, that's what we do, hope. When we do the detox and we start to change our food, which changes our lives, we start to feel better. We start to align with that is good in our lives, and our pain goes away. And we start to feel like we have possibilities and opportunities. And so she has these techniques to be able to create safety and to be able to express possibility and stepping into your greatness and being able to face the things, just like in Dr. Naram's unstoppable meditation. So it was one of the most incredible experiences. Mindy, please. You're muted.
Jayna, I just want to say that your presence there gave so many the opportunity to enter their space on the table with ease and grace, because they had the opportunity to work with you for 5 or 10 or 15 minutes prior to having their work with Pamela and her team. You were so loving, you were so kind, you were so gentle. You normalized this unknown experience for them, and you helped them feel safe. And so then when they did receive the work, they could just receive it. Thank you. I love you.
I love
You're
you too.
amazing. Your presence in so many ways just gives all of us ease and grace.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I just also wanted to say for a second, I see all of these just sweet, sweet notes across the bottom. I am signed in tonight I am here tonight without being signed in, so I can't respond to messages, but so many of you were kind to my family. You supported us, you sent us gifts, you sent us money, I'm so grateful. And this community, the people in this community are such a blessing. And you, Jayna, came to the island and you made a big difference. And I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mindy, thank you, because we know what you have been through. There was one lady that came, and she was doing everything. She had her shields up, and I started to do the work with her, and she asked me to stop, and she broke into tears, and she says, I'm going into a place where I'm going to fall apart, and I don't have the strength to put myself back together. So please, no words. If, and we did, we honored that and put her on the table and just allowed her to have that experience. Well, including Mindy and Madeline, they have been through it. They have lost everything. And being that I was in this space in Lahaina, it was difficult for me to respond to messages that I was receiving and questions about how is it going? What is happening? And I couldn't, because we were holding space for these incredible people. And it wasn't until, a few days ago that I was able to finally respond. But that's where Mindy is. I think, Mindy, and I could be speaking for you out of turn, but, there's a lot going on and she's still moving through with her life. She wants to, at least in my vision, to not focus on what has been lost, but what is the possibility. But still that grieving process exists. Yeah.
It does. And, it's not, I can't say that it's not the things that we lost, because some things do bring you a sense of safety, but it's the damage that's happened to our community. 86% of our town is gone. So many people in our community are injured, homeless, missing. It's a lot. It's a lot to absorb. And I totally get what that woman was saying. Like, please don't ask me to talk about it. Like when I was getting on the table, these amazing souls put us on the table as well. I couldn't talk about, I just needed to be on the table and receive. And so, as with this community, you guys have, so many of you gifted me the kindness of just being able to receive without a lot of words around it. But I just really want you to understand that I see you, I feel you, and we are infinitely grateful. Mwah.
We love you too, Mindy. Thank you so much. A lot of miracles that week, and a lot of miracles continue. And this marma, the gratitude statements, looking at the 𝗷𝗙𝗙𝗘𝗏𝗏 when there's a challenge facing you and looking at it as life is not happening to me, it's happening for me. It really is a great way of being able to live life. I would love to hear from you. We have a few more minutes before we move on to the miracle experience, but I would love, Mindy, thank you so much for being here so early in the morning, your time. Luke, would love to have you share.
Actually, the only thing I wanted to say was I want to ask everybody here to please let's rub our hands together and send the blast of love to Jayna and Mindy for this amazing work that they've been doing. They certainly have experienced miracles this week. Amazing. So to Mindy and Jayna, we love you so much. We're sending you so much love and blessings to you from our entire community. Thank you.
Thank you. I also want to say, Luke, thank you to all of you for showing up, your donations, your ideas, your putting things in motion. Susan Ingman and Joseph, what they have done, they just even talking and collaborating has been such a huge gift and benefit, because it starts the process in motion. So thank you. And thank you, Luke. Edwina.
Thank you so much for allowing me a moment. Mindy and Madeline also, and just want to really say my heart is so there with you. Just both you. And Jayna, to hear that story just brings me so much joy. So that's healing. I love that. I did have an experience this week with being able to teach a friend of mine about 𝗷𝗙𝗙𝗏𝗏, and it was so magical. And I've been really focused on, we have these gifts that we can share, but unless we're helping someone, right? It's like we can talk about it all day, But my friend a few years ago moved from the Big Island to Hawaii and had a very traumatic experience when she got back to the United States. So bad that she just like had this emotional trauma where her eye burst out, like she has cloudiness in one eye. So instead of having a stroke or instead of having a heart attack or instead of having some kind of aneurysm, this is what she gets. And since that time, she's been like wanting to heal that eye. And she's been, you know, I don't like how people look at me because I'm a healer. And when they see that in my eye, they always take a double take. And she's like, it makes me feel like, you know, so self-conscious. And I expressed to her that this may be an opportunity, you know, for her to realize the God in that. And we broke it down and just had a really amazing conversation. And then I talked to her last night after we had spoken in the morning, and she said that all of a sudden she realized that she could be healing her third eye, that all of a sudden all this eye stuff was coming to her that was helping her to heal and adjust. And so then we got to speak even a little bit more about the process. And so I just wanted to send so much gratitude for this group, for Ancient Secrets, and wanted to just share that it's beautiful to be able to extend that to others outside of our group so that it can ripple throughout the world.
Absolutely, Edwina, thank you so much. It is powerful when, you know, I coached for 15 years, you know, plus, you know, and until I actually learned these skills, my coaching shifted when I did, you know, when I started to identify, you know, I mean, because I'd always set goals, but I didn't look at life was not happening to me. And I looked at it that way rather than life is happening for me. And then also the listening to understand and the gratitude. When I started to really engage in those tools, it really shifted the way that I connected with people. And so, Edwina, it's wonderful that you're teaching your friend about the unexpected guests. So thank you. It's beautiful. Anybody else who would like to share? I know Rhonda in our group. Rhonda, are you still on the call? Let's see. She may not be away from her computer, but Rhonda, she's had some wonderful experiences. Has there been somebody that has just kind of been doing the practices every day? Would like to share?
Yeah, I can share something, Jayna.
Hi, Randy.
Hi, everybody. This is an interesting thing that things have been going well for. I'm building a house, so for us, and I invited this one fellow over, and he sort of was days late, but ended up coming at anyways. And the reason I wanted him in was I was looking at drilling some piles. Now, this is just an interesting thing about human nature, I think, is what it really boils down to. 𝗷𝗙𝗎𝗄𝗏 was what I put it to, but I also put it to what we were talking about today is positivity and things like this. But anyways, he took a look at it. My contractor was there at the same time, luckily, because he verified what he thought. What happened is I showed him around and showed him what I was saying. He asked all the questions he should have asked. And then he said to me, he said, you know, I don't think you need them. And I said, really? And I'm a contractor and I'm a carpenter. And so I've been in the business for 50 odd years. So I said, well, what about this corner? Because I says it's fresh pushover, which is soft earth. And anyway, it came down to, he said, well, here's how I'd fix it. So you don't need to. Otherwise, you know, I have to move my equipment in here, and it, you know, costs, you know, $500 to move the truck in here and this, that, and the other. My contractor said, yeah, I think we can work around it, and I don't think you really need it. Well, here's the odd thing is this fellow passed up probably over $8,000 worth of work. Now that is contrary to how most people operate here. They would try to upsell you more, and they certainly wouldn't pass that kind of opportunity up. What it showed me, and we talked about honesty in work and things like this, and he just said, that's the way I work. And I said, well, that's the way I've always worked too. And that's, but I guess what it really stuck out in my mind, and I was so grateful, I actually phoned him up later and thanked him again for his kindness. It just showed that there is, especially in this society, being in Costa Rica, that it's something that's not very common. And that was my experience today. And I thought, you know, since my life is going uphill these days, which is good. It's better than being at the bottom. And you can attribute it to a lot of things, but I think about what you know you were talking about today is thinking positively, thinking like you were saying, Jayna, life is working for me, not against me. And that was a story I had to share, and it just shows the humanity is everywhere in this world.
It is so true, Randy. You know, we have been aware of some of the times where life was not looking, you know, positive for you in all areas. And I'm so glad to hear that life is turned around and you've had that vision in your mind of what you've wanted, and it sounds like it's coming together. So it's beautiful.
Yeah, finally. Yeah. So yeah, it's a change. And you know, when you get you go, you know, people go, well, you know, things are bad are happening to me. Well, that's because you're near the bottom or going to the bottom or at the bottom, and you to get your mindset around that it's difficult. But what I've had a lot of things happen this week to me. That was just one of them, but good things. And I think it's just when you're in a mindset, and this program of this experiment we're doing with concentrating on positivity or 𝗤𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏 or what you want is something that draws in good energy. And it's in my life, it's certainly been evident this week and for the past few weeks, but this week it sort of came into a few things like that happening. And yeah, all you can do is be grateful that your energy is attracting good energy. That's all.
It is. It's beautiful. Randy, I love what you said, because it is true. You know, when you focus on what you want, you can get it. But I also have to say that there's some other things that can happen. You know, in some of the earlier experiment games, I would do, what do I want? And I would envision it, what I wanted. And the 𝗤𝗙𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏 would show up in my life. And I'm like, what did I do? Mm-hmm. And what I recognize is that the universe is bringing up those things because it's rearranging life so that you can get what's truly in alignment with what you want. So when Schiffer was talking about her apartment, you know, not holding the lease, you know, that is an 𝗤𝗙𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏. There is some uncertainty around that. But you know what? It may be more in alignment with where she's going to be and being connected with what she wants. So I just want to remind you that that is the reason why 𝗤𝗙𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏 is so important, because it unearths, when you do the what do you want, it unearths everything. And you get to decide, oh my gosh, you know, how am I going to handle this? And if you engage in the negativity, it can pull you back down into what you don't want. But if you accept it and embrace it, I think somebody was saying accepting it, embracing it, it can help you move through. And gratitude is the key. It truly is. Eileen, do you want to have something? Do you have something you'd like to share?
Yeah, so I'm new to this, and thank you for being here. And the reason I got this book was really a friend of mine who's an art teacher, and I'm taking watercolor painting, posted the mung bean recipe on Facebook. But I am a yoga practitioner and an Ayurvedic yoga specialist, and I do have more time to do the things because I'm no longer working, full time. And I just read, and I'm newly relocated in southern Delaware, in the United States. And I was just reading locally and saw that there's a Boys and Girls Club in the town I'm living in. So I just naturally called because I wanted to teach. I knew that youngsters would be in an after-school program, and I wanted to teach them yoga, at least try. And so that's what I started doing. And it is like a miracle, because it's many miracles, because the first week, okay, so on Tuesdays between 5 and 6, they're 5 to 8-year-olds. And I had done this once before for the Y when I lived in New Jersey. And then on Thursdays at the same hour are like 9-year-olds plus. And it's such a wonderful thing. For me, yes, there's anxiety and how will I do this and responsibility, but it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And, the kids are working hard. It's not, they're who they are. They go through a lot in their day. So I'm adapting to what I see they need, but it's also joyful and giving back. And it's just because of putting, your energy into action. That's all. It is a wonderful thing to be out here and being able, and that Ayurvedic principle I was taught by one of my teachers, like attracts like. So be it for us too.
It is so true. I love that. It reminds me of a video that I saw where there was a room full of metronomes. And you can think about this with a clock shop, the different clock shops, when there's a clock shop, the different, they're all going different ways. The pendulums are going different ways. And then pretty soon they start synchronizing up. And it's just that's synchronicity of energy. And that's one of the reasons why we do the miracle experiment game, is we've got a group of us focusing on the what do we want, putting that out into the bigger place of the world, being able to focus on the 𝗷𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏 and welcoming the unexpected guests, and to be able to use gratitude. It is such a powerful key. If we were only grateful every single day, oh my gosh, there would be so much change in the world. It's just beautiful. And so with those, metronomes or the pendulums, and they start synchronizing. And that's what happens with us in this group as we play this game. Mariana, would love to hear from you. Thank you so much, Eileen.
So I am, as of about however many weeks ago, when I first heard of the 𝗷𝗙𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏, brand new to that. And I've been exploring it in the most remarkable ways, at least to me, more remarkable. I thought at first it was, well, when bad things show up, you have to treat it as if God's showing up. And there's a wonderful Rumi poem of the guest house. And my house burned 9 years ago or 12 years ago now. And 2 different people wrote me songs to the words of the guest house. But so I was looking at it as, oh, it's a bad thing that's showing up and you have to greet it in a new way, as if God's showing up. And then I looked it up, and Titi means calendar. 𝗷𝗙𝗙𝗙 means without a calendar. So whatever it is that's showing up, it's showing up on its own time or God's time in a way that we cannot predict. it makes the whole thing a huge adventure. And then if you look at it as whatever the shift is, being a gift of God that we might not be able to understand in the moment, then 𝗤𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗧 is an encasement for miracles. The miracles are part of that, if you just look at it that way. So the short story of my miracle week is I just spent a week at the American Biodental in Tijuana. I went down to have one tooth pulled, and they pulled 13 teeth. And when I first got the information that they were going to pull 13 teeth, it was like 𝗤𝗙𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏. And it was like, shit, I don't know how I can cope with this. And immediately I said, okay, if this is a gift of God. And I looked at the bigger picture of the wellness of getting all the infections out of my mouth so that my whole body will heal better. And in that process, all these gifts showed up. There was a doctor that just sort of floated around, and I got to talk to him. And he listens the way no other doctor I've ever been present to listens. So that's a miracle. And I kept thanking him. He said, well, that's the least I can do is listen. Very, very humble. They set up a whole medical team for me to make sure that I would be all right during the anesthesia and all of that. It was just like, so I look at it as, yes, the unexpected, but the outcome is a miracle. But it's the lack of a calendar that really has gotten me excited. So thank you, everybody. It's really an amazing group to be with part of.
Thank you so much for that story. Oh my gosh, and we wish you wellness and healing. You know, we are to the end of our call today. We're going to be going into the miracle experiment game, but I would like to take one more minute, Cornelia. And I would like us to close our eyes and to really focus our love and attention to all of those who are in need, of prayers or blessings or support or love or healing or positivity, and just send them your, love, just channel through however it is that you do. And then at the end of the minute, I would like us to rub our hands together, unmute, and say, I love you and I'm with you. So let's start that now. Thank you all. Let's rub our hands together. I love you and I'm with you. You're amazing.
Love you.
Love you.
I
And
love you.
I'm with you.
I'm with
You're
you.
amazing.
Amazing.
Love you. And I'm with you.
And I'm with
Harvey.
Love
you, Jayna. Love you, Cornelia. Love you, Mindy. Love you, Randy. Love you, Harvey. Love you, Mary. Love you, Katie. Love you, Jerem. Love you, Mr. Francis. Love you, Jimbo.